this is Girls on Games, and we're here at Montreal Comiccon, and I'm with LeeAnna Vamp. Thank you very much for coming to Montreal Comiccon.
Thank you guys for having me. Canada shows are so amazing. You guys are so sweet, so nice. You have the best candy also, which excites me very much. I love it here.
Oh, awesome. So, is this your first time in Montreal?
It is my first time in Montreal, fourth time in Canada, so I've been in Toronto twice and Vancouver once, but first time in Montreal. It's been amazing so far. It's beautiful here.
Amazing. And I want to ask you, during the process of cosplay, do you like the creation process better, or are you much more into getting dressed up and coming to the con in full regalia?
You know what? I like both parts equally. The creation part in my mind is always so amazing. I'm like, I'm going to do this costume. This is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to make. These are the materials. And then you get started, and you're like, wow, that is not how at all I planned it coming out, and that's not what I thought was going to happen. This harness actually was like the bane of my existence for like 2 days. Ash is a man. He's lacking in this general area, and that affects a harness very much so. Putting it on and coming to the convention is kind of the more satisfying part of it, because all of your hard work gets recognized. And I love when people come up and say, oh, I love that character, you know, I grew up with that character, and just really enjoy it. And the greatest thing is when you see little kids, like when I do the Mario and you see little kids and they get so excited, it's so satisfying.
In the process of creating your costumes, do you recycle some of your things, or do you, okay, so you don't just like keep it all, like they're all precious and you hold on?
Well, everything's precious to a certain extent, but I like repurposing things. So if I have like a belt and I need that same brown leather belt, I'm not gonna go buy a new one. I just use the one that I have. The only problem with that is sometimes it doesn't get put back with the right thing, and I'll forget pieces. So in that sense, it always is good if you can just get. My biggest thing is I always forget something when I go to a convention. So I actually, if it's a 3-day con, I bring 4 costumes, because chances are I forgot something at some point. But I try when I can. Like I'm a big proponent of Ziploc bags and like Sharpie writing on everything. Everything goes, it's like in its own bag in its own section. But shoes, sometimes I repurpose shoes, because a lot of the times, no one's seeing your feet or your feet getting cut off. And a lot of my costumes, you don't necessarily, like the shoes don't have to be exact. But yeah, I'm recycling, reusing things, finding things I already have that I can rip apart and reuse rather than spending money, because it gets really expensive really quickly.
What's the most expensive costume you've ever built?
Oh, wow. I did a costume, the character is Ciri from the Witcher game.
Oh, wow.
And I got to work with 3D Project Red, so it was like they wanted it to be as close as possible. Yeah. And I want to say it was close to $1,500, which, I mean, it's a lot, but there was a lot of leather, there was a lot of like detailed, specific things, and it's hard when you count up those receipts, because I try not to think about it, and then I add up the receipts and I'm like, wow.
Well, we appreciate everything that's put into your work, and thank you so much for talking with us, and super stoked that you were able to come to Montreal.
Thank you. Give me a hug.